we go, and good morning, everybody. Let's wait a second, make sure we're getting out the other side here on the YouTube side. Testing, testing, testing. Winky, how you doing, honey? Get a sound check here. This thing's slow today. I'm afraid our cell signal's being compromised by the amount of traffic right now.
We got power
because of the fire risk and communications going on. Grandpa Jay, how you doing?
Hello, hello,
Let me
hello.
just do the sound check.
Vicky,
Here we go. Okay.
Grandpa Jay, how you?
All right, it's been a very busy 24 hours, as you guys are well aware.
Winky, Jenn.
Yeah, we'll wait a couple minutes. Jenn, how you doing, sweetheart? Shamaj, good morning to you, babe. Winky whispers, there's Vicky. Good morning, Vicky. Nice to see you. Jenn, my wonderful mod on board. And let me just say, well, I'll get into that a little bit about the mods too. They've really had their work cut out for them. And they will continue to have their work cut out for them over the coming months.
Hello,
let's see, Cheryl, how are you? My sweet, wonderful friends. Nice to see you, Cheryl. Big hug. Christina, good morning to you. Christina from Flint, Michigan.
Much
Scottish Saren. Good morning to you. Mamacita Missy Jenn in the house with another YouTube video there. And it was a big day for us yesterday. I did put the video live of our little adventure yesterday. I've come to the point now where I find it's more powerful to tell a story with videography than a lot of talking on there. People know what the drill is by now when you go into for infusions and things like that. But you kind of get the sense of
Thank you, Robin.
You know, you see the world outside there, and the world goes on despite illness and everything.
Much appreciated, Serene.
Yes, you were sending positive vibes. Thank you, Scottish. You always do, honey. I love you.
Plus
Robin.
Spirits.
Yeah, Scottish, Sarah and Winky, you guys are near and dear to my heart. Spirits, nice to see you today. Very nicely. Good afternoon to you, Spirits Hearts. Always an awesome to see you. Want to make sure this Streamlabs is working. As many of you know, I'm blasting off to Las Vegas with Marshall on Sunday. So I got to make sure everything is working good. Good evening from Belfast, Northern Ireland. Nice to see you, Marie Duffy. Always honored to see you in the chat. 90s grunge rock. some of my favorite rock in there. Missy Jenn, you want to go ahead and I'm babbling as usual, but I'm not going to talk over you. Do you want to give a update on your thoughts about how yesterday went? It was a little touch and go in the beginning. I was a little worried. Because you had that adverse reaction when they first put the liquid Benadryl in with that. So I'll let you talk and give an update on that.
Yeah, this has been basically two half infusions, and then now this was like the fourth full infusion. And so far I always would get pre-medication. I would get like the Solomedrol steroid injection with the saline added into that, and then they would give you like an anti-nausea pill, a Tylenol, and 2 Benadryl pills. Now, so I would usually be like awake pretty much the whole time, kind of sleepy but awake. And then yesterday she gave me 2 Tylenol, and that was it. And I'm like, where's the anti-nausea pill, and then where's the Benadryl pill? But I didn't ask, I just wondered. And she said, well, I'm gonna give you the steroids and the Benadryl injection here in 5 minutes. And I'm like, Benadryl injection? Okay, that's gonna be interesting.
You never had it in infused form before.
So I never had it as an injection. And let me tell you, that was a big needle. I mean, a big syringe. It was huge. It was big. I mean, it was a big load. So and then I also had the problem she couldn't find no veins, so she had to put it right in this side here, and go basically into my biceps here. So
The first time you had it up high like that.
right, because they couldn't find nothing here,
Yeah.
couldn't find nothing here. Anyway, so I never had the Benadryl injection in my whole life, so this was the first time. So when she injected that, I was just sitting there, and within 5 minutes, my entire biceps and everything just,
I was nervous, man.
it was hurting and hurting more.
Not a good place, Crystal, right on. You know, hey, Kathleen.
And then I thought, oh boy, this doesn't feel good.
Kim,
And then it really started hurting more and more by the minute. And then it started spreading out into my entire biceps.
recycle dude, how you doing?
And the entire area here, everything was just really hurting bad.
I went to get the nurse who was very
And
nice.
I was starting to get nervous. I was like, I think they're gonna have to rip this thing out and put it elsewhere because this is not. And then she came and she asked if it was like a burning. And
Did she give you anything for that, or she just tell you be a tough Norwegian German princess? What did she say?
And she said, "Be a Viking,
Be a
warrior."
Viking. There we go.
And
Hey, Norm.
it'll fade out eventually. So she said that this is a sensation that comes from the Benadryl injection. The Benadryl will actually you will have a burning sensation, and I'll tell you it was for me, but since I never experienced that, it was really scary.
I was starting to freak out a little bit, but I got the nurse to come
I'm on my
back.
entire bicep. I mean, it crept all the way up to here, and then it kind of subsided, mostly, and then.
Because if you have to halt an
Then
infusion,
she did ask me if I was kind of getting loopy, and then when she actually said that, I was kind of like, I told her I feel like I had a 12-pack.
oh man,
Within like 5 minutes, I was like getting really, really loopy.
yeah, Norm, that's the German Norwegian Viking
And
princess.
it was
there.
everything was like kind of like starting to kind of spin and everything, and it was so yeah, it was all okay. So I actually did like it this way better because I had the great opportunity to sleep through the majority of the infusion and not have to worry about what to do with 6 hours, and so I slept off and on, and every time the thing would go off, beep 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 beep, it would literally shake me out of crazy dreams and stuff.
Yeah, her nightmare. Rosie's still here. You know?
I had
when
I
I wake up, my nightmare continues. Rosie's still here.
I
you
had
know?
all kinds of wild dreams, and but it was. I liked it more with the injection now, and she said it was 10 times more powerful than taking the pill. So you imagine you take 20 Benadryl pills all at once. And so yeah, it was good. I actually enjoyed the fact that I was able now to sleep the majority of the infusion. And then I gotta say, we came home. I slept 13 hours. And we actually stopped on the way home. We had I was hungry.
Yeah, you got to feed the machine.
Oh,
after
I was
that.
so hungry. We went to Denny's and I had a vanilla pudding, banana, pancake stack with 2 eggs and bacon. Wolfed that
Yeah.
down, came home, took a quick shower, went to bed, slept 13 hours. Got up this morning.
Yeah, Crystal says, "You okay, Rosie? I know it's hard on the person watching. What was hard for me?" And Jen, I was telling them about the young Thai Filipino girl that was directly across from us,
Oh, yeah.
and the violent shaking and stuff that she was having with her infusion, and her boyfriend just so upset to sit through that and everything. So it's tough to watch.
Yeah, she has the spasticity.
Yeah. You know, and you just think at
Second.
that young age, 22, 23 years old, what,
Yeah.
you know, her, you know, if it's that terrible at that age, and that really touched me
I think
dramatically.
she should have had some
Let's
baclofen.
see, Jay says, "Missy, was you scary doing that treatment? Were you scared doing that treatment?"
No, after after getting that injection, I was all in heaven.
Yeah, I want to answer Yasmin, and good morning to you. Good evening, I should say, Yasmin, in the great city of Manchester, England,
Hello,
says, "What
Jasmine.
does the
Nice to see you.
infusion do? Does it keep the MS at bay?" It actually works. This is something from Genentech, and there's a lot of engineering in this bag that hangs on the pole for the infusion. It looks like it's as clear looking as H2O hanging there, as clear looking as water up there. But in that in that bag is a tremendous amount of genetic engineering. And what this infusion does is it goes into your, you know, the immune system is attacking the nerves and the nerve connectors in the body. That's why there's all that short circuiting that causes muscles and spasms and things like that. What this therapy actually does is it goes in and it remaps your immune system, okay, over a period of weeks. That's why Missy Jenn has to be careful to stay warm and to avoid illness, because she
Yeah, I
really
gotta
has no
avoid.
immune system.
I gotta avoid sick
Yeah.
people, like the plague.
So this is a good time of year to have this done, by the way, before it gets chilly. So this actually remaps the immune system, so it at least for a 5 to 6 month period, it stops the immune system, the autoimmune system, from attacking itself in the body. The upshot for Missy Jenn is that this is keeping the progression of MS, not stopping it, but it's slowing it to an extent where science, little by little, is catching up, and genetic engineering is catching up to a point where there may actually be a time to put that they are able to put the myelin sheath or the covering back on nerves to stop the short circuiting. We don't know, but anything that helps is a plus. It's not cheap. Okay, what does this run per infusion here? Just the cost of
Well,
the.
here it is like 90. I looked at the bill. The medication itself was 95,000, and then the infusion itself and everything all together was another 90 something.
Yeah, you're talking about a very expensive.
I mean, it's very expensive.
Now, the reason is because they have to try to recoup all the engineering and all the scientific work that went into it. Probably the basic chemicals and structures themselves are very inexpensive, but it's all that folded in overhead of everything that went before to develop that. So Jen's now on a schedule of once a year to visit her neurologist. And I look forward to, Jen keeps up on the conferences. It's kind of an up and down thing. Some things that show promise don't pan out. Other things can sometimes come out of the blue and be effective.
Thank you, Jasmine.
A lot of science is trial and error here, as you guys know, trying different things. Same way with fighting cancers and things like that. There's just throwing everything except the kitchen sink at it to see what can be done. But working on a gene level and remapping the immune system and things like that is, you know,
Hey, Mark in the
it
house.
just, how you doing, Mark Handler? It just slows things down to a point where Missy Jenn's doing pretty doggone good. Not every day is great. Not every day is lousy. She's bounces between. This week uh, until I take off on Sunday. I want to keep a close eye on Missy Jenn. Yeah, she looks good today. Here, she needs to have a ton of rest, which she will have here. And the good thing, this is now in the third year of this process, so she knows how she should feel. You have that initial boom down, and then what does it take, about a week or 10 days, and then you start to
Yeah,
feel the effects of it.
in the beginning, and this is the beautiful thing, like when I started my initial first set of infusions, and that starts you off slow with a half of the dose, and then 2 weeks later, the second half. That's how they start you to get your body used to the medication because it's so invasive to your body. And then 6 months later, you start basically then you start your first full dose, and then every 6 months you have full doses. So the first initial dose is divided into half doses, and so I noticed for myself that with each 6 month infusion, I have a shorter recovery phase. I had in the beginning 4 weeks, then had 3 weeks, and then like 2.5 weeks, and so I think a week or a week and a half, 2 weeks, I should be good as gold again. Uh, I can tell that my legs are like kind of weak, hobble-cocked, kind of. My left leg was all yesterday, not quite right, but I had already the last 2 weeks. I promise with my left side, but
It was time, right, for your next
it was
infusion.
definitely time. I could tell, but
Now, you've also been able to cut out some of your medications over time,
I
too.
have over time reduced some of my other medications, the uh, symptom controlling medications, and I see that as a blessing. And
Yeah, the less drugs, the better. I noticed how you doing, Chairman of the Board, Norm F. in here. Yeah, she will fight the fight. She's Norwegian at her core. She's a Norwegian German
hello, Norma,
princess.
chairman of the
She,
board.
yep, the
I know
Canadian
you
Clipper in the
really
chat. Norm, thank you for your kind
uh,
comments. He actually picked up
can.
the phone the other day, which I thought was great. And Norm and I talk, not often, but not seldomly on the phone. And it was nice that Norm picked up the phone and said, "Hey, I'm concerned for Missy Jenn," and I was very touched by that. The nature that he gets batted around like a badminton shuttlecock
Thank you,
once in a
Sean.
while in here, but he has an extremely good soul, and I'm very proud to have him as a friend. Now, Harvey, good morning, Sean. I don't know what's going on with Harvey. It's a very strange case here because Harvey De Niro here, for some reason, I've gone and sent him proof that he's not blocked on the channel. He sent me proof that he does not have me blocked on there. The only thing, I don't know if you log in every time or maybe clear your cache or something like that on your computer and try coming in again. It's the same thing that happened with Pam and Rick. For a whole year, every time I would go in on my Rosie O'Kelly channel, they couldn't see me. Okay, and I would have to go in on my Rosie Murphy channel. So Harvey, you're the computer guy, man. You got to get it figured out. Okay. There we go.
Uh,
Thank you, Jay Money. A lot of you guys have been very kind. The risk is that you compress things here, and I don't want to say that no prayers are ever wasted, but Missy Jenn's battle has been going on for eight or so years now here, okay, with her MS. Prayers are appreciated, but I never want to give the idea there's something at the moment like something terrible happening. It's a process that she goes through twice a year here. Yeah, you never know what can happen with, you can develop allergic reactions along the way, but as you can see, she looks wonderful. She's doing well. Hey, doing well. Hey, Lavender, how are
I
you?
just wanted
Winky.
to give
Yeah, I
a
got to check in with Google. I don't know. Okay, there you go. Sean says I clear my cache twice a week and defrag. You'd be
thank you,
surprised.
Crystal. I wanted to
Uh,
give an answer real
I'm
quick
not
to
sure if Space Ace
Scottish.
is in here. Go ahead, honey.
Scottish Serene asked if they give me something to boost my immune system before the infusion, and actually,
They don't want to do
the
that.
whole key of the infusion is to completely suppress and eliminate the immune system. So you don't want to you don't want to add anything to boost the immune system, because the whole issue
Hey, Hectic.
with MS is that the immune system is what actually, the immune system has an error and it attacks your central nervous system in the spine and in your brain. So you want to suppress the immune system, and that's the whole key about the
Yeah.
infusion. So you don't want to do anything to boost the immune system.
Yeah, I mean, imagine that you have an office building and you have a backbone cable running up the building up through the 20 stores or so. And off of that, you're branching off individual phones and computers to that. You have a huge bundle and it breaks out to smaller hookups all along the way. Well, what MS does is it takes the insulation off that wiring so that all of a sudden when you want to call somebody on the 20th floor in an office, you end up ringing somebody on the 17th floor. You know, you miscommunicate and your muscles get signals and things. So the whole goal of MS therapy is to put the covering back on the nerve so you stop that short circuiting from occurring. I cannot see Harvey unless he is on his vintage audio account.
Now I have,
Let me see.
I can always just recommend for anybody that has any kind of debilitating
Hey, Larry.
illness that affects the body, is trying to be having a positive attitude and also try to stay active as long as possible, because
Much love to you,
to
Winky. Be
keep
well.
your physical
Hope you feel better,
body
babe.
strong, and try to have a healthy diet if you can.
I take it all in stride.
It's
That's
it's
all.
all it's all key to, because once you just lay down and say, well, I surrendered, and you just lay down, then that's when you're finished. And
Yeah, there you go. Crystal's got it all. Same
and
central issue.
yeah,
That's it.
Crystal, has the RA, the lupus, and the
Yeah.
fibromyalgia.
Well, I'll say a
So,
lot of people here on the Boyd and drama
um,
community deal with very debilitating issues of pain, of lupus,
so we
all
all
that.
need to send some prayers and some love to Crystal as well. And
Oh, that's good. Christina says my sister's next dose is on Halloween. Missy Jenn, we're dressing up in costumes for making it a party.
that's awesome.
That's really good. I know I see you here, Harvey's vintage audio. You can see me now. I think, yeah, I don't know what's going on the other channel, Harvey. You're the wizard of computerology and everything. You're going to have to figure out. I have no idea what's going on. This is the first time I've ever seen, except for Pam and Rick on here. So there's the update on Missy Jenn. She came out of her infusion in good shape. She went right to bed when we got home last night. Had a fairly decent sleep last night. She never really sleeps what you would call a normal sleep, because once in a while a muscle will contract or she'll have a spasticity. Hey, Dina, or something like that. Yeah, check it all out, Harvey. But as long as you come in on the vintage audio, you're all good. Well, I don't know how Elvis can't ban anybody here. I went to Harvey's channel and I checked it out. So I didn't see any. I sent him a screenshot of his channel, and you can look at it. It says block this user. If it was blocked, it would say unblock this user. Maybe somebody can write me. Well, the fire danger is just it's the opening, Marshall. The winds are going to be
just
picking
the
up.
beginning.
Yeah, the winds are going to be picking up, and I'm going to get to that in a bit. So I want to also take this opportunity to address the moderators a little bit on my channel. I happen to think I have the best moderator core here on YouTube. Yes, it's a very small core. Sometimes I might only have one or two moderators on the channel, but they're dedicated people. I have your tip out your mods day, and my mods knew last month that I was skating a little thin and things with on the channel, having been demonetized and traveling and all that. And I like to tip out my mods because they're such a backbone of the channel. But they kind of sensed that there wasn't anything really last month, and they don't, they're here because they want to be here and they enjoy being the moderator. People like Jenn. Hey, Gina. Nice to see you. They're here because they like me. They're not here to function to kiss my behind and say you're great, Rosie. Whatever you do is fine. They're also able to freely express the opinions that they want to express on here. People say, well, what's the purpose of it? Anybody can post anything. The purpose is I don't want, people in the side chat to be doxing other people out on the channel that come in, dropping people's personal info and their addresses and things of that nature. If you've already been doxed out, that's fine, but that's to protect other people in here, and also to just tamp down the level of viciousness that sometimes occurs. People know that people rarely get blocked out on this channel, okay? Because they know that the thing to do is you can say anything, but if you can say it without cursing and without being heinous in the speech, is fine. I've had Kitten Cat is no fan of Rosie O'Kelly. She neither dislikes me or likes me. She does not like some of the decisions that I make, but she's a person I don't block because, number one, I learned some things from Kitten Cat, and number two, what's the point? If you're running a channel on YouTube, my thought is that no matter what you do and the decisions that you make, you're not going to run and escape from people's thoughts and their feedback. And if you try to do so, you're burying your head in the sand. Yeah, Cab 7 was doxxed. Well, worse than that, he was swatted. You can certainly use that hectic. You can use my video from yesterday. I did a little bit of a cinematic. Hey Joe, I did a little bit of a cinematic video with Missy Jenn because I find these days that images can be much more powerful than the spoken word. And in that video of Missy Jenn's Infusion Day, you can sort of get the sense of the outside world, the small world of the infusion center, and a little look around San Francisco and that kind of.
I want to say big kudos to Rosie Girl. She is a real expert on the cinematic videos, and she did a really nice capturing the reality, what it is like.
Yeah, you have the sense of things.
You can really see what it's like. You can feel it.
No, frequent flyer. The infusions are an ongoing. It's almost like what would I call it, Jen? Like a keeping you in
rest of your life.
Yeah, keeping you in a state where hopefully the progression of MS is slowed down so much because the immune system has been somewhat disabled from attacking itself. And so if you can keep it from attacking yourself, you kind of keep on keeping
Yeah,
on.
I buy myself 6 months
Yeah.
at a time with each infusion.
Yeah.
I just bought myself 6 months.
Thank you, Mark.
Again.
Yeah, I try to bring the content, and as you guys know, I'm swinging more towards
It's Ocrevus.
putting things cinematically. Thank you.
It will
Thank you, Crystal. I
take out
appreciate that, honey.
B cells in the and suppress the immune system.
Thank you, Yasmin. I appreciate that. And I'm looking
Gina.
forward to being on your panel. You know, I don't really do panels too much, but I have such a high, not that I have a disregard for other people, but I think there's something very special about Yasmin Jade, her authenticity, the loveliness, the authenticity that she has as a transgender, as a woman, is really remarkable. And I think that she should get a lot of subs. She hosts the chat. Harvey usually co-hosts with her. And
Thank you.
She's everything I'm not as trans, you know, elegant, soft-spoken, right? And all that. If you want the perfect counterfoil to me, the counterpoint, here's Missy Jenn and people like Yasmin Jade out there, the divas. You know, I just, you know, the butch tomboy and all that kind of
I'm gonna try to swing by Jasmine's here in the future.
Yeah, please, let's support her and let's support her chats.
Try to support you on your chats. I just had a lot going on here lately, and so I'm gonna be having more time now. So
yeah, I'm sorry, Flint, that happens. You know, I mean, it's a fact of life when you're out there. Things are going to happen to family. They're going to happen job-wise.
I'm actually right now. I'm only out for what, 2 hours?
Yeah, I want Missy Jenn to get his.
I'm already tired.
Yeah, I want her to get back into bed.
I'm ready to keel over.
Close the door today. Get back into bed and get as much sleep as you can.
I got one thing I gotta get done today. Yeah. I need to go and get the paperwork and then.
Yeah, well, I ain't nothing, Mark Handler. I'm along for the ride.
Hi, Jack.
I am baggage, you know, on the ride with Missy Jenn. But as I've tried to continuously impress on people, you know how I feel about Missy Jenn.
Hey, Jinxie in the house.
Jinxie, how you doing, baby doll?
Big hearts to you. Jinx, hectic.
Jinx, send me some naughty pictures, okay?
I've got some, but I ain't sharing.
Oh, yeah, the inspirational video. Any of you can feel free to share that. Let's address another topic because I got some blowback on the Green Mile, the final mile yesterday.
Oh, the Green Mile, yeah.
You have any thoughts on the people that are saying, you know, what the heck is Missy Jenn doing in such a sort of horrific little video? The final stretch to liquidation really is what that's about. You want to tell them a little bit of history of the Green Mile and how you feel about it, what that place is like?
The Green Mile we've been doing every year, every time we go there, and we actually kind of did discuss a kind of a screenplay, and I actually had the idea with the empty wheelchair in the end.
What I'm saying is
was my idea.
This Mount Zion hospital looks like it was built in the 1920s, and out back of this hospital is really weird.
Spirits.
3 years ago when Missy Jenn and I started the infusions, I guess we were down there in late October, and we had time and we were wheeling around the block, Divisadero Street down there in San Francisco. And we went around a block and I was stopped in my tracks when I looked to my right. There was a fence there and there was painted stripes on the ground and these horrendous green garish lights that were on. And I told Missy Jenn, take a look at this. This looks like something out of the Green Mile movie here, the final. So we're lucky we get down there before the sun really comes up, and for 3 years we've started to put this little vignette video together. Now, for those of you who said, you know, Missy Jenn's just pressed into service to, you know, she hates it. Tell them what a diva you are.
I actually yesterday was already looking forward to doing that. because I sometimes feel like I have pretty good acting skills, and putting the hand on the door and then like
Lowering that head a little
hello,
bit.
and then the hand down, lower my head. And
Tell
all
them
that.
you're a diva when they're.
I am a diva. Hollywood, here we come.
Unfortunately for me, yes. So the gate was locked, so I had to run all the way around the side, come into where the gate is, get Missy Jenn back into position, run all the way around the building to the outside of the gate. Meanwhile, we're fighting the sun coming up at that.
Yeah,
but we made it
the
happen.
sun came out quick, but we got it done in time.
Yeah, we got it done in time. So I'm not trying to make a statement. It's our Halloween little
Yeah, it was.
feature there, and it also thank you,
fun.
Hectic. It's also I'm just trying to get people to realize you don't need fancy camera gear. What did I used to carry around, Jen? The Olympus OMD EM5 Mark II. How many lenses did I have?
What a nightmare.
And use Blackmagic colorization software and stuff, and finally it just became so out of control. I sold all that equipment. I got rid of it. All of the I still have the color grading, the Blackmagic color grading. But I decided to focus on what people are moving more and more to, which is a cell phone, and the camera technology in cell phones is getting more amazing by the day. And professional camera sales and non-professional camera sales are sliding dramatically now, because I want people to see what you can do with just a cell phone camera and a little bit of cheap software, the Power Director Cyberlink, which you can do a lot of. How close are the fires to you guys? I'm going to get to that right now, Christina. I want to get to the it's all. Thank you, Kim. So, I put those little vignettes together, and I always tell people, hey, look what you can do with a little bit of free music. And sometimes I don't use, like
Hi, JK.
Hey, JK. I used, like Casey and I said, I used some. I'm not monetized on the channel, so I could use some Alan Jackson in there and put that in. I love Alan Jackson, probably one of my favorite country western singers. So rest assured, Missy Jenn loves. She brought her flashlight down. I did not use any of that footage because I like to get the ambient or natural light that's in that.
I brought the mega flashlight.
I mean, she was all set. Look what I brought. We can really spotlight me on that.
Yeah, use that. Now you can use that and even make it even more.
Oh my God,
creepy.
the selling of the turkey incident. Missy Jenn wheeled around that corner, and there I was selling my Thanksgiving turkey on the corner. She just couldn't even believe it. I
put the car in reverse and just shuffled it back home. I don't know this person.
Every year the Sutter Hospital Group would give a turkey for sale, so I'd be out there like selling my turkey. And I tried to get it done before Missy Jenn came back home again, but I was out there on the corner by the 76 station, and who comes wheeling around the corner, right? Missy Jenn, and she was like, you shame me so much out there. People know you in the neighborhood. And what the heck are these things on there? How else do you draw a turkey? I mean, how do I know you just put your fingers down there. I wasn't ever good in art, Does that look like a turkey or not? I don't know on there. Right, so I sold the, so she kind of made me promise not to do it again. So I got to wait till she's not around if it happens. So, it's like, it's life. I thought she'd be like, oh, good, we don't need a 20-pound turkey taking up room in the freezer here. And she's just like, oh my God, is that what I think it is on the corner?
It's a miracle I haven't tossed that out yet.
It's a miracle you didn't ram. It's a miracle you didn't ram into the car ahead of you when you saw that. So, yeah, you see a dinosaur. I know, Jinxie, my artistic skills are not renowned. I've done some crazy stuff over the years, and there'll be a lot of more crazy. Hey, Bully, what's up? Merry Christmas to you. Let's talk about the fire update. Janet Fields lives and the boss live 48 miles from me. They have no power. I'm sure people across town here have no power today.
Yeah, they actually posted an alert about 30 minutes ago that entire Santa Rosa might be going out of power.
You know, now Marshall came in there earlier and he's like, I survived the great fire threat of Santa Rosa. No, it hasn't even really begun yet, okay? But they've put things in a power down condition where we have 800,000 people without power at the current time in the whole county, multi-county area here. So I didn't know if we'd have power or not, but I looked at I'm not sure if JK NoCal, if you're in here, JK NoCal, I'm not sure if you have power up in your area or not. He's about 7 miles north of me. Yeah, Norm says sold many generators. Who needs one? Well, we now have 2 generators on the property. We can pump out about something short of 6,000 watts if we need to here on the rancho. Joe says, what about putting solar on the rancho? You know, Joe, why we never did this? Because we don't use air conditioning here because, frankly, maybe 3 or 4 days a year you need to have the
like
AC.
2 or 3 days.
2 or 3 days a year. Otherwise, nature's air conditioning comes in with the marine flow in the afternoon and cools things down. It can be 108 degrees here at 4 p.m. and it can literally drop to 59 degrees by 8 p.m. at night, and you will sleep under a blanket almost every night here in Santa Rosa. Therefore, Joe, our power bill, our gas and electric bill in summertime only runs about $60 a month for all that. So it's like, did the economics of it work? Not quite at the point there. And then winter, we don't really use our high. We might use $129 our total bill. Missy Jenn has to brace with the shock waves of October Halloween lighting and Christmas to how much power we use here. She's always like, the power bills arrived. You better sit down, and because I know you're going to freak out when
it's gonna get more expensive.
How you doing, Cupcake?
Every year.
When the power bill comes.
Putting it to the man.
But I like a lot of lights. Hey, Copper, I like a lot of lights. And I like to be very festive, and I'm looking forward
Hi,
to...
Allison. Yeah, I'm really tired, but any other than that, I'm all right. It was a pleasant experience. If you want to check out the video, Rosie made a really nice video of the infusion yesterday. It was a successful
Dorlin.
experience. Hi, Dorlin. Much love to you.
Oh, you got a light on your Glock. That's very scary to me, to put a laser light and pinpoint on somebody's forehead and drill. Yeah, she's our Viking. She is our Viking. And yeah, I'm very happy about that. Hope you're doing well, Cupcake. So right now, we don't know. I've told Marshall that we're not in the clear yet. I told him when he boondocked last night, try to get into a location where you're not under a tree that can come down and crush you have a fiberglass shell on top of that. You got to use your sense out there. And he probably got a little over freaked out last night, and because he's not been here, and he's like, "Are you ready?"
Have a good afternoon, Norm.
Take care, Norm. Good to see you. Thank you. The Canadian Clipper in the chat. So thank you, Scott. So he kind of hit the panic button a little bit last night and hit the road. So wherever he is, I just encouraged him to just be in an open kind of space so you don't get hit. Like the wind should really be kicking up this afternoon. Should be our highest threat.
That's when danger comes of the power outage.
Yeah. Some people are very angry because PG&E's cut the power now for almost 10 hours in some areas, despite there being almost still winds. But when this wind starts up, it's going to drop the humidity below 10%, and it's going to be extreme fire danger. That just drives everything out. Anna, I hope you're doing well. This is I want
Hello,
this is
Anna.
this is somebody I want you guys to put in your thoughts and prayers. A
Yes,
longtime friend of
absolutely.
Missy, Jenn, and I, Anna Hitchcock here. She's a wonderful gal. She's a thoughtful, kind person. She's very low key, but she's engaged in the battle of her life now. Okay, she really could use your thoughts and prayers, your good karma for her, as she's engaged really in a fight for her life at the current time. And I don't want to overstate that. I don't want to understate that. But she's been nothing but a wonderful friend to Missy, Jenn, and I.
Yeah.
And she will always be in our thoughts and prayers. She's, like I say, it's serious business on her. It's acute. It's going on now, and her treatments start tomorrow.
Starts
So
tomorrow.
I'm not going to
Hello,
disclose
forever
anything else on her
friends.
health situation. But she's something that really. Hey, Dragon Lady. Good morning, Dancing
Morning,
Dawn. How are
Dancing Dawn.
you?
Mwah.
Oh, okay. You got VPN on iPad Pro. Yeah, I wish Bully should be my technical advisor. I guess he is the technical advisor to the Wing Bull Mafia there. All technical things. Yeah, is the power off to keep down Dane? That's exactly right, Janet A. The power is off to protect against the down power line, which basically has bankrupted Pacific Gas and Electric. The Santa Rosa fires plus the destruction of Paradise, California, has resulted in bankruptcy for PG&E. Some $30 billion worth of claims against $11 billion on of insurance. So there's a huge hole to be gotten out of there. Yeah, I want to thank people when Marshall pops on the chat once in a while. I try to keep things positive. I keep Marshall on a positive plane on my chats. His expectation is that when I come on his chats, that I will not be cursing. I will stick to the subject matter. And by and large, I'm very happy. He came on for about an hour and a half last night, and it was a nice, positive chat. I really want to get away. If I go on the McNamara channel, yeah, it's adult chats and things like that, but I want to tone them down from the last time, and I want to keep things on a more adult, but not I don't want to cross any lines of vulgarity. So that's the rules I'm going to have on, even when I go adults. It's I want to keep things in check. Yes, it's not a monetized channel. Yes, everything is adult content all the time. So it's all good with YouTube terms, but I want it to be good with life terms here on the channel. So yeah, I don't want any. As you guys know, I rarely curse. Missy Jenn never curses on videos. I don't believe I've ever heard Missy a curse word come out of her mouth on YouTube. So she might do a laughing WTF or something like that. But I've never been a person that likes cursing. I don't like it at all. So it's just to me the English language it's the largest vocabulary of any language in the world, and if you can't find by a factor of two, if you can't find a way to say something without cursing all the time, I don't need you on the channel. I don't need it. I'm my age. I just want to pull for positive. I know people are, a lot of people are opposed to Marshall and his van build. It's something I've chosen to take on because of the enjoyment and pleasure that I can get out of doing that type of build. So I do like to keep things possible. I'm not sure what that means.
It's Modelo.
Well, I'm just saying. Last night, Marshall was on the chat for the better part of an hour and a half. It was a fun chat. We had a good time. Yeah, he raided the pizza in the refrigerator, and sorry, he took one of Georgie's hot dogs.
That's alright.
I put 25 cents in the jar for. How you doing, Diogo? I guess what that is. Hectic said the Green Mile video would be fabulous in a small film to highlight serious illness and hope. I'm not sure if I'd want the Green Mile, but I would want the Missy Jenn's Infusion Day. Because the Green Mile could be construed as totally opposite. Like it's the final hurrah. We're going to be, up the cremation flue. And that's the whole point. That whole story is somebody that their turn comes up, and they're looking in. They know what's coming next in the window, and the next thing you see is an empty wheelchair there on the Green Mile, and a slow panning rising shot up to the old chimney stack there with the birds flying by. So um yeah, pooperonis, I'm not sure what they are. They didn't turn. We don't have our powers on, so I'm hoping it's going to stay on.
Hopefully it'll stay on.
Oh yeah, the content, I enjoy doing those little vignettes and things like that. Hectic, thank you. Yeah, I just wouldn't want anybody with MS to ever see that and think, my God, this is supposed to be an uplifting message. No, for Missy, Jenn, and I, this is our annual Halloween
This
time.
has been
Yeah, our tradition for 3 years.
and actually I think this was the most fun to make because I put a little bit of my input in
Oh
this
my,
time.
Catherine. Oh my. Yeah, the Green Mile is like a death row where you wheel to
And
your
I
phone
brought
and send it.
the high powered flashlight and everything, added a little bit of stuff to it.
Yeah, I just decided at the end to just keep it ambient light and tone it way down in the color grading software there. So I enjoyed, JK, is your power back on? JK is about 7 miles north of me. Is your power back on now or not?
Walmart is dark.
The Walmart's on the west side,
Oh,
east side of
see,
101.
yeah, and that could be
Yeah,
out.
that whole area of the Home Depot, the Walmart. I don't know if they have generators. They probably have basic generators for refrigeration. And thank you, Beryl. I appreciate that. Yeah, the line for gas last night
Royal
went all
Park
down
is
the
out.
street. Yeah, I'm going to let that work off. I'm not going to gas up till I leave the area when Elvis and I go down to Las
Hello,
Vegas.
Carrie.
Yeah, Roner Park. Wisconsin, Carrie. Haven't seen you in a hot minute. How are you, sweetheart? Good to see you. Happy birthday to you, Scott. There we go. Yeah, the Halloween Reef Spirits, it's all coming out, honey. It's all coming out. I'm not going to gas up. I'm not going to be in this insanity that's going on right now. Over here. I'm not going to be involved in that. I'm not going to contribute to that dumbness on there. As far as my thoughts on Colleen and Marshall, what's coming down at the current time, my thought process is the same as I say for anybody else. You run your channel, you do it the way you want to do it. If you're not in compliance with the YouTube terms, then there's a risk, when you're running the channel. If you know that risk and you run it, that's fine. But I'm just saying, at the end of it all, YouTube's rules govern everybody on here. This is why I gutted out over 3,000 videos on my Rosie O'Kelly channel and took so much stuff out that it's no longer, it would probably be okay, but it doesn't fit who I am today. So, you just have to be careful. The best thing of all is just create your own content. If you want to discuss somebody, and this is just my thought, there's no imperative here to do what I say, but just fire up a chat and talk about it. You know what I mean? But the best thing is, like if you live in Hawaii, you bring in the content, you got a nice camera that does excellent color rendering and everything. Just share your life and put your life out there. Okay. You're looking plumpsy, darling. Yeah, I'm feeling, well, I'm leaning. I got my different, I want to be a little plumpsy anyway. I'm enjoying
By
it.
the way, I got weighed in yesterday.
Actually, I'm not plumpsy.
I
Let me
lost
see.
I lost 12 pounds, ladies and gentlemen.
Am I plumpsy? Jen?
You're lusciously plump.
Yeah, I'm
If you wanna call it plump,
Yeah.
which I don't know what plump really.
plumpsy. I like to
You
be
just
like,
lusciously
I like to be like, baboom, baby.
baboom. Yeah, you're
Maybe
lusciously
you're
baboom.
used to seeing me in like Daisy Dukes or something like that, right? I'm such an a-hole.
Yeah, I'm actually now my perfect weight. I am down to 177.
Thank you, Gina. I'm just being a goofball, you know.
And
Yeah, she's fine. I don't want her. You know, people have said, "Yeah, work it, girl, Yasmin," and I don't. You know, she looks. Missy Jenn looks fantastic. I just think you do a little bit. If you're fighting a disease like Missy Jenn says, it's not the worst thing in the world, in my opinion, to have a little cushion of loveliness.
I weigh the same that I did
Oh,
in
thank Dawn. I ain't nothing,
2008.
honey.
11 years ago, I weighed the same weight again.
Yeah, she looks fantastic.
So I'm really excited. When they weighed me yesterday, I was like, yes!
She's the queen of the rancho here. Simon, how are you, my friend? She is the queen. She has multiple sclerosis, Dragon Lady. So she's the diva. Tell them about the direction that you're gonna be going into. She was never really. She is a Boyd OG member. She's been here since day one of the Boyd. But you've never really, you're not one to chat too much on the Boyd. But tell them tell them the direction that, do you want to share that now, or do you want to do that on your own video?
I'm going to go for
I don't
makeup.
know, or sorry.
Get some training for the makeup, and then I'm going to start doing some makeup reviews, videos, and
She always looks beautiful to me. Yes, she does.
try to get deeply involved into like the makeup, and I want to get my long nails again. I used
Don't
to
ever
like,
block her on the.
in 2008, I used to have all
Hey,
these
Ted.
long nails, and I want to get back into all that again and get into kind of like the makeup
okay.
stuff.
Yes, I'm looking forward to seeing that. One thing Missy Jenn has done over the years that I've never really done is I tend to just be on a linear track and just what happens in life happens. You've periodically reinvented yourself on
And then,
YouTube.
as Gina says, my favorite videos you do are the mukbangs.
Take care, Lavender.
I will here and there do the mukbang videos. I've done 3, I think, so far. And I will do mukbang videos too. I'm gonna then be all dolled up with
There
really
you go.
nice eyeliner and whatnot and all this good stuff. And then we're gonna be doing some really delicious, scrumptious mukbanging.
Can't wait. Anyway, I always dreamed. I've never had my makeup set is one eyeliner, one lipstick.
I'm
and,
5'9", Tiger.
That's about that. One time I always dreamed, I wonder what I would look like with a professional makeup job. You know, wouldn't that be kooky to go to a department store one day at Macy's or something like that and have them do a rosy makeover? So, but that's not who I'm just rough and tumble. You know what I mean? It's just like, woo. So I'm looking forward to seeing what direction Mr. Jenn. She's had a lot of requests to bring magic back, and the most requested thing is, Missy Jenn, could you do a magic trick to make Rosie and Elvis disappear? You know, so we'll see if you're gonna work on that trick to make them both disappear, and you and Georgie will be in full control here. So. We shall see. Anything else to put out here? You're gonna whack at the dog park. I don't know. I don't want anybody to be hurt. Oh, okay. Oh no, I don't believe that, Hectic. I believe that you're beautiful. Bye bye, Adolf. Have another course of underwear. Let's see. Doggy says I'm a pet groomer and I want to join your family. There we go. So we'll see what content Missy Jenn brings. Jenn and Rosie Reality TV is her channel. I'm always hoping she brings a little bit of the magic back that she did 2 years ago. What do we have? Magic Thursday
I
or
might
something?
just
What was
do
it,
that
Magic
sometime. It used
Thursday
to be
you had?
Magic Thursday, but
Yeah, Magic Thursday.
we will just have to see.
Well, you never know what Marshall will be for Halloween. You never know. Okay, we do our traditional Halloween. Tonight I will probably I have 2 more videos to put up from Mexico, and that will finish it. The one video I want to stress was when Marshall and I got into a cab at the border town in,
Thank you, Sean.
in Mexicali, close to the border, and we
Vielen Dank.
asked somebody what's the number one place where locals go to eat Mexican food. And we went on a heck of a cab ride into the dark, into the heart of Mexicali, and I didn't know if we were going to come out again. But he took us to a place that just stunned me and floored me with the volume of people that were in there and the operation that they had. It was amazing. I want you to watch that one. And I have one more video too, and that will complete the whole Mexico trip. I will then go back and put all of those trip playlists, Encinitas, when I met Tara, all that stuff I'll put into a playlist for the Yuma San Diego journeys of 2019. I'll put all that together. I will be blasting off Sunday morning for Las Vegas. I hope to see Mr. Z. I don't know how Mr. Z will feel about meeting Marshall. My thoughts are, whenever you meet somebody in person, you'll be able to evaluate what you've seen on YouTube versus what it's like in real life. But I recognize people have a choice to meet who they want to meet, and I would respect whatever decision Mr. Z makes. I know on Thursday the 17th is the Las Vagrants meetup at the Mirage there with Line Screw. There'll probably be quite a group of people down there in Las Vegas. Then we have 7 beers. We're supposed to be doing some chooching probably Friday night, maybe do it early. And then Saturday it's taken off for home. Then it's Halloween, and then really getting down and dirty with the van rebuild there. It'll be up to Mr. Z. Like I said, Mr. Z has been a tremendous friend of Missy, Jenn, and I. We have a few friends in Las Vegas, Dancing Dawn, Mr. Z, that have been great friends of ours for years. We love them to pieces. And but I have to respect people for the decisions that they make.
That's right, yeah.
And the stands that they make. At the end of the day, it does nothing to affect the relationship I have with Mr. Z, Dancing Dawn. You know, Mr. Dirty will probably show up down there. You'll probably see Scott S, or I think that was his. The guy that came up and brought us the beer and weed when we were doing the pop-up party and stuff like that. So. Yeah, Mr. Z is an amazing person. He's a he's a wonderful person. So it'll be a lot of fun. There'll be a lot of good content. People are like, oh, go back to the Bellagio and see if you get booted out, or you can see if you get trespassed, or, see if you get locked up. I'm not going back to the, hey, Dawn, I'm not going back to the Bellagio again. Sorry. So we'll see what happens over there. Hey, Keith Gregory, how are you? I've never lived my life in fear. I figure if somebody's going to physically assault you, it's going to happen. There's nothing that you can really do to defend. Yes, I always carry the big size pepper spray around in Las Vegas, but I guess I've been pretty lucky so far that I've not been physically, there's been a lot of stuff done. I'm not going to go into that, but as far as physically meeting somebody, if something on YouTube gets you so riled up that you feel like you have to physically attack somebody, then
hello, Andrea.
I don't know. Hey, Andrea, how you doing?
How are you?
I've not talked to Pam. I want to let things settle out a little bit. Frequent flyer. From what I understand, when somebody showed up armed at Pam and Rick's property down there, it was a very disconcerting moment. If it happened here, if I didn't get shot to pieces, then it would not affect my YouTube. I would just keep going the way I'm going. I just figure. I don't want to sound fatalistic, but I've run my race in life. Okay, and if I went out tomorrow, I wouldn't have the regrets, having, gone through life, married, raising kids, transitioning, and living this life. I have no regrets. I've lived an incredible life. living both genders for years. Very few people will ever have that experience, Jen, of going through life as a male and then totally changing, for Missy Jenn very thoroughly with all the component parts and things and all the beauty. And then me going through, the change and being the non-op sort of third gender person. I go, let me tell you, you pack a lot into life. You see a lot into life. Wouldn't you say, Jen? It gives you some unique perspectives
Oh yeah.
on living life and things
Scott,
like that.
I
Hey,
might
cute
either
kitty.
be, I might
Yeah,
either
got to be a
be,
grandma.
I
There we
could
go.
either be the police girl again,
Crystal.
but I might also go out and look for something alternative for Halloween, and then decide what I'm gonna be
Yeah,
this year.
Dancing Dawn. If there's any kind of Halloween house or something going on in Las Vegas, I would be very interested in like doing a live stream event like that and having a couple beers. I never drive in Las Vegas if I'm going to be drinking at all. I never drive. I never drink and drive anyway. Okay, I'd rather park the car and just get a taxi to go
Hello
somewhere
Maggie,
or
welcome to the
something like that.
channel.
So yeah, she's a police girl, and I tend to look like the corner prostitute with a corset and panties on. It's we have a good time. And woman, hear me roar, Sean Quinn. That's exactly right. Be a naughty dog trainer, dominatrix, and that fine. So, Dancing Dawn. If there's anything going on in Vegas that you think might be of interest, I'm not sure if I'll take Marshall out to the out shooting again. I don't know. We would like to take him to the range here and at least put some kind of comfort level with him of how to handle a firearm without shooting somebody to accidentally shooting somebody. Oh, hell, okay. Fremont Street is having a Halloween on Fremont Street. Yeah, but I'm going to be gone on the 19th or something like that. So we'll see. Yeah, we always. You can go back and look at some of the other videos. Missy Jenn has been dressed up like Snow White or something or whatever. I was a zombie one year and all kinds of
I
things.
was Alice in Wonderland 1 year, 2 years, then I was last year the police. Then the other year I was border enforcement.
Yeah.
I scared this guy. He left his daughter at the door and he ran away.
Oh my
It's
God.
like, you left your daughter
Yeah,
here.
you thought you were immigration.
It's like,
like
3-year
coming
daughter
together.
left him right at the door and he ran away. I was
Yeah,
like,
that's it, Jordan
left
Blue.
your
How you doing,
child here at the
sweetheart?
door.
You're just about due for a hillbilly camel clutch, aren't you? There's my Jordan Blue out there. The poor stuff that lady has endured.
I definitely
and,
want to be some
Uber
really
Goober.
naughty and sexy.
How you doing, baby doll? I don't know why so many people want to tap that ass, Uber Goober. See how popular he. I got to send you a Dorito bikini, Uber Goober. Teaching Marshall to swim in Las Vegas. I'm not going down to Las Vegas. I'm down there to just sun myself and give the final hurrah for summertime there.
Yeah,
If you want to learn to swim, if you want to swim, you have to want to learn to swim. You don't take somebody and say, I'm going to teach you how to swim and all. They have to come to you and say, hey, I would like to learn how to swim. I went up to, even in the city of Baltimore in low income circumstances, we still managed to learn to swim at the summer camps, the fresh air camps, and things like that they would have, which usually entailed the instructor just picking us up and just throwing us into the lake or whatever and say, let's see how you do before we start, on that. There you go, Uber Goober, lost in the grand crack of things. There you go. But Uber Goober, that's in these days. You know that. That's fashionable. If I had a nice big butt, it would be, I don't know. I just couldn't even think of it. All right. Well, I think that we have. I think that we've bent your ear enough here today. I wanted to just thank Missy Jenn for coming on this morning and sharing her story. Don't be upset by the Green Mile, the final mile. It's only a little bit of cinematic movie making with a cell phone. It's not meant to convey a message that Missy Jenn's on her way to the final mile and then into the crematorium and up the chimney there. She loves being an actress, let me tell you. Okay,
It
she
was mega
loves
fun. It was mega fun
Yeah.
to do that video. And also, if you haven't,
She's gonna go lie down now.
if you
Yeah.
haven't seen the other video,
Yeah.
nice cinematic video of the infusion, check it out. Rosie did an amazing job capturing
Okay,
the
thank you, Scott.
reality of infusion. So check
And,
it out.
I will just put this on the end here.
Yes.
If you've enjoyed the content, I'm not monetized on this channel. I never collect taxes on YouTube. But if you've enjoyed the content and you want to express a tip or something like that,
And smash the thumbs up, please.
that's always most welcome. PayPal.me/Rosie O'Kelly. It is most appreciated. I love you guys. I'll be running the Streamlabs in Las Vegas. Should you choose to, the text-to-speech will be enabled on
Loved it,
PayPal and
Andrea.
things like
Loved
that.
it.
Throw a shawarma sandwich in the end of the creek with the snakes and send them in.
I'll holler
Anyway,
at you later, girl.
tips are appreciated. Taxes are never collected, but your support is really appreciated. Keep the content coming here on YouTube, the stuff that really producing real content on here that people will enjoy.
Will do, Spirit's
For
heart.
years. I will see you tonight on the Rosie McNamara channel. I'll be trying again to have a little bit of an adult hangout, but we're going to keep it under the, we're going to make sure it doesn't go off the Richter scale there and all that. Have a wonderful day, everybody, and Halloween is coming.
Hugs, love, and kisses.
Woo! Yeah, I'll always be a responsible driver, Pizza
Much
Kitty.
love to all of you, each and every one of you.
Thanks, everybody.